So without further ado, I'd like to introduce you to one of our amazing Shiley Fitness Center exercise trainers. Her name is Amy Callahan. She's a certified personal trainer, group exercise instructor, and massage therapist. And over the last 25 years, she has taught hundreds of people how to become stronger, prevent injuries, and reduce pain through exercise. Please join me in welcoming Amy.
Hello, everybody. All right, so good to have you guys here today. I'm looking forward to working with you guys today and hoping to offer some things that will help you with whatever your goals are with the reason you joined us today, whether it's for yourself or maybe for a loved one who you're caring for. So I hope you guys take away from today something that you can use. So some of you may have come in after I had mentioned the kind of how to prepare and how to do what we're about to do safely. So first of all, this is a chair yoga class. We'll be doing something seated, we'll be doing something standing. So you'll notice I've got a chair. So ideally the chair that you would use for this class should be very sturdy. Make sure that it's not going to slip around or fold up on you like a folding chair. And ideally should not have wheels on it like an office chair. A kitchen chair is usually just right. The other thing is that ideally your chair should not have any arms on it. If yours does, that's okay. But if you can choose one without, that would be ideal. You will want to have a little bit of space around you, all the way around your chair. We will be doing some things in front of, beside, and behind your chairs. And finally, I want to make sure that you have shoes on. So a lot of yoga classes, you do them barefoot. And because this is a fall prevention class, one really important aspect of fall prevention is proper footwear and making sure that you have a nice, sturdy support. So I would recommend no flip-flops or slides, and depending on if you have carpet or tile, just make sure you're secure. The other thing is if you do have any pets, you might want to secure them so that they are not underfoot, because we will be doing some moving around as well. All right, with that being said, we're going to begin starting with ourselves seated in our chairs. So go ahead and have a seat and make yourself comfortable. I'm going to switch out my camera so we have a little better view of what we're doing today. Here we go. All right, excellent. So we are all going to have a seat in our chairs. We're going to start out kind of scooting back on our chairs so that we feel very supported. We want to place our feet about hip width apart, and you want to have your feet firmly planted on the floor. We're going to take the shoulders and roll them down and back. We're going to take our hands and place some palms up on our laps. From here, we're going to let ourselves kind of settle into our chairs, beginning to literally become heavier on your hips, and at the same time lighter as your spine lifts up to the crown of your head. From here, if you would like to, you could close your eyes, although for some of you that may not be good for balance, so you could also set your gaze down towards the floor in front of you. And we're going to begin to turn our attention to the breath. So allowing your mind to begin to drop down into your belly, into your chest, and start to feel that gentle filling up with each inhale. And notice the exhale, the release, releasing your breath, releasing any tension. Noticing each inhale, we're drawing in new fresh air, new fresh energy, ready for what our practice has in store for us today. And with each exhale, we're going to let go of whatever is not right here, right now with you in your practice. Breath by breath, we're allowing the mind to start to quiet, allowing your mind to sink down into your body, and starting to notice what's there for you today. Noticing your physical body, noticing your mental and emotional selves, and noticing how today that subtle undercurrent of energy and tone of all that Some days are a little more, maybe a little more agitated and frantic. Some days we're feeling a little tired. Some days maybe we're on top of the world. So without attaching any judgment whatsoever, just notice where you are today and allow yourself to be where you are. And as we tune into that, we can begin to notice, why did we come to this today? What are we hoping to get out of our time together? So we're going to begin to set an intention for your practice today. So maybe you are here to feel better today. Maybe you're here to learn some new things. Maybe you'd like some stress reduction techniques. So for you today, what would you like to set as your intention for everything we do today? And begin to breathe that intention into your body, breathing it into your mind, into your heart, so that we infuse today's practice with that intention. Now we're going to allow the breath to become a little deeper, a little more deliberate, and especially breathing into your diaphragm. So breathing into your belly, allowing it to gently expand, and exhaling. Let your belly hug up into your body. So we're going to continue with that diaphragmatic breathing, and you can begin to let the eyes open, taking the gaze straight out in front of you. And this is still a nice, easy, passive breath. So it's a little deeper and more deliberate than your natural breath, but we're not forcing. We're allowing the breath to expand and allowing that belly to hug up and into the body. We're going to be adding on to this breath. So allowing the hands to come down beside you. On your next breath in, we're going to reach those hands right up to the sky. And as you exhale, reaching back down again. And breathing in, lift the arms. And exhale down. Let's do that one more time. Big breath in. And exhale down. On this next breath in, turn the palms up, lift the heart. And as you exhale, rounding your back, look towards your belly button. Inhale, palm up, lift back. And exhale, roll through. One more time, we're going to inhale, open. Now stay here this time. So your arms are just kind of floating a little lower than your shoulders. Your gaze is up towards the ceiling in front of you. We want to feel this easy buoyancy through your heart, lifting up, breathing. And you can start to breathe into your chest a little bit more now. Expanding and releasing. And bring those hands right down. From here, drop your head down to one side. All of those arms just hang loose next to your body. We're going to roll your head around to the other side and hang out here for a little bit. Remembering that everything I offer today, I want you to do in a pain-free range of motion, pain-free manner. We're going to roll that head now from side to side. And feel free to stop anywhere along the way that feels like it would like a little extra time and stretch. Our head position has a lot to do with our balance. When you're tight on one side and your head gets a little crooked, the rest of your body has to adapt and adjust. So this is a good important part of our fall prevention. All right, bringing your head back up to center. Gonna look over one shoulder and look over the other shoulder. And just see how far can you look in each direction, just with your head. All right, now we're going to skip forward a little bit in our chairs so we have a little more room to move. And we're going to take that rotation, that side to side, we're going to add the rest of the body in. So now I'm going to turn, look over your shoulder, bring one arm back behind you. We're going to bring it back to center. Take a nice big breath in, look over your other shoulder, and exhale back together again. Inhale, open back, and exhale together, and open, and together, and this time I'm going to stay here. So you're looking over your shoulder, shoulders are down and back, chest is lifting, crown of your head is lifting, and bring it back to center. Let's go the other way. Bring the arm back, nice and tall. Feel your breath. Where does it go? What does it do? And bring it back to center. Gonna bring those hands right down behind you. Grab a hold of your chair. And then lifting your chest, begin to look slightly up toward the ceiling in front of you. You're ever so slightly leaning forward, pulling against the hands. Not so far though that your chair gets pulled out from under you. You're gonna relax your jaw, relax your eyes, your face. And soften and release. So we're gonna do just the opposite of that. So I'm gonna interlace your fingers, press your palms forward, look towards your belly button. And breathe especially into your back, puffing up the space between your shoulder blades, expanding the back body. Let's go one more breath in, one more breath out. And then bring it all the way up to the sky, stretch it up. If this is too much, you can release your hands. And release it down. All right, from here, you're gonna open the sides of the body. Taking a nice big breath in and bring it back down. And the other side, big breath in and down. I'm gonna keep going from side to side. You'll notice I'm using a hand on the chair for a little extra stability. But in addition to that, we also want to feel the hips are both on your chair. So make sure you're not rocking just to one hip, but both hips stay very well planted. Now the next time you lift up and over, let's remain here for a few breaths. So reaching down, especially through the hips, lifting up through the ribs. Letting your shoulders melt down and back away from your ears. And bring it back down. Let's do your other side. Lifting up and over. So rooting down through the hip and let your body really rise up out of that foundation. And release your hand back down. All right, so you should be perched a little bit towards the front of your chair at this point. And we're gonna be alternating, hugging one knee in towards your chest and the other knee in towards your chest. You can hold right behind the knee. Some of you guys might like to hold on the shin for a little deeper stretch. So you can try both of those on and see what feels good for you. And hug. And this time we're gonna stay. So gonna hook your hand either behind your knee or on your shin there. Sitting up nice and tall. It's a little bit of a nice stretch for your lower back. Some nice flexibility. And if you'd like to, you can begin to lean back into it just a little bit. And release. All right, let's do the other side. Gonna hug it in. This side may or may not like it the same as the other side, so listen to your body. And as you exhale, releasing into it a little deeper. And release. All right, so from here, we're gonna turn and face the side. This is why we wanted a chair with no arms. If you need to modify in some way, you can also come to stand. We're gonna be doing this standing in a little bit. So you're turned to the side, you've got the back of your chair to hold on to. Now you're gonna scoot your hips forward towards me so that now this hip is free and clear. You've got one hip firmly on your chair and the other one is free. That foot is gonna go back. Now, depending on you, your body, this, you go back a little further or maybe not as far. We're trying to reach back and now open the front of your hip. This other hand is here supporting you. And then this foot that's back, that's the hand that's gonna go up and stretch. So we're going into a little bit of a back bend. Now lift your heart up You're looking slightly up towards the ceiling in front of you. And you're breathing especially into the front of your hip, into your lower belly. Relaxing your face, letting this be easy and effortless. Let's stay here for one more breath in and one more breath out and release. So bring this foot forward again. Now we're going to scoot back onto our chair. So now our hips are both planted. We're going to sit up really nice and tall. So it's important to have the spine as tall and straight as possible. You're going to turn and look over your shoulder towards the wall behind you. You're using both of your hands on your chair. And then continue turning and look over your shoulder. So going into a supported spinal twist. Letting your hips sink down into your chair. Feeling your spine lifting up through your body. And feel your breath here. Relaxing your neck and shoulders. One more breath in, one more breath out, and release. All right, we're gonna walk our feet around to the other side. And then again, you're gonna scoot towards me so that your hip is free. Your other hand is here on your chair for support. You're gonna slide this leg back. All right, so all of your weight should be firmly on this leg that's on the chair. So pressing back, tuck your tailbone under, lifting your chest, and that leg that's back, that's the hand that goes up and slightly out in front of you. So taking your gaze up towards the ceiling. We're going to hang out here, creating a lot of open space on the front of your body. I'm going to stay here for one more breath in and one more breath out. And release. Going to collect your legs up underneath you. Slide both of your hips back onto your chair. Sitting nice and tall first. Begin to rotate. Grab the back of your chair and continue looking over your shoulder. Especially in our twists, we can feel the breath. Not a lot of room in there, so feel how it expands and takes up space. And with every exhale, notice you get a little bit more twist as that breath leaves. Let's go one more breath in, one more breath out, and back to center. Let's walk those feet back around to the front. All right, we are perched a little bit towards the front of our chair, but we still have really nice support. All right, so you're going to take your right leg forward in front of you. Down just a little bit. See that foot? All right, so your left hand is here supporting your body weight on your side. We're going to lift this arm up, take a breath in, and as you exhale, reaching straight forward towards me, leaning forward from the hips. So we're going to inhale, lifting nice and tall. Make sure those hips stay well planted as you reach, 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 and back. Take another great big breath in. And again, we're going to reach. Now this time, you're going to stay here. All right, so from the side, what this looks like is your front leg is straight, your body's tipping forward. Now for some of you, you might like to let the spine begin to release down. And if that's the case, now for some of you, if you do have vertigo, sometimes dropping the head below the heart isn't a good idea. If you have certain hip or back issues, this might be as far as you should go. But for those of you who this feels good and it's appropriate, let yourself release into the stretch. You can let your head go and feel your breath here. Let's go one more breath in, one more breath out.
Now take your time. Take a few breath cycles to slowly, slowly roll yourself back up to the top. All right. From here, I'll bring that arm up. Big breath in and release. Let's do your other side. All right, so your left foot is forward now. You're nice and perched on that chair. Get everything all nice and even again. Your hand is supporting your body weight on your thigh. We're going to inhale, elongate. And as you reach forward, we're going to keep all that length, stretch it forward. And bring it up, big breath in, a little bit of a back bend. And reach, reach, reach forward. Then I'm going to go one more time, bring it up. And forward. This time we're going to remain in our forward bend. Then bringing your hand down, let it rest. And then if you'd like to slide all the way down and release your head. We're going to hang out and enjoy your breath here. Reminding you that nothing we do should hurt you. If it does, you may need to adjust, you might need to modify, or you might need to sit this one out. Listen to your body. When you're ready, beginning to roll up, take your time. You don't want to come up too quickly and get lightheaded. Once you get to the top, we're going to take a nice big breath in. We're going to open up and release it down. All right, let's recollect that's underneath you. All right, so we're going to begin to work our way into some standing postures. And we're going to use our chair pose to kind of get us up and do a little bit of strengthening. So make sure those feet are about hip width apart or so. And they should be even. Now at this point, sometimes if you have some balance issues, sometimes people may fall backwards. So make sure that your chair is secure so that if you do lose your balance, you want to make sure it's there. So what we're going to do is lean forward, press your feet through the floor, and come all the way to stand. All right, so here's where our chair pose comes in. So you're going to bring your arms straight forward, sink your hips back. Now we're not going to go all the way down. We're going to go about halfway down. You're going to hover right there, and then reach your hips back for your chair. So we're going to do that again. So we're going to come up all the way, bring your arms forward, and then begin to sink your hips back, 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 hover, 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 and then reach your hips back and down to your chair. All right, we're going to do that several more times. So working on some nice strength, scoop your hips back, hover, pull your belly muscles in to protect your back, and all the way back down. Well, let's do it again. Bring it up and down and hold. Hold, hold, hold. Maybe you sink down a little deeper and all the way back down. All right, this time we're going to come up to stand and we're going to remain standing. At this point, we're going to move behind our chairs. So coming to stand behind your chair. Now, so that you can see better, I'm going to move my chair out of the way, but I still want your chair in front of you. So pretend it's still there. All right, now first of all, we're going to come to mountain pose. So mountain pose, your feet are directly underneath your hip joints there. So from here, we're going to bend your knees a little bit, and we're going to tilt your pelvis forward and backward a few times. So tilt and tilt. Now, anything I offer, you could stay seated. So if you're seated in your chair, you can find a little pelvic tilt. Now let's find a happy medium between a forward and a backward tilt. And then go ahead and straighten those legs, keeping that neutral pelvis. All right, from here, we're gonna roll the shoulders up, back, and down. Let's do that a few times. We're gonna take them up, take them back, take them down, up and back and down. One more time. And just shake out those arms, let them just hang next to your body. All right, so we're reaching down through the feet. So begin to shift your weight forward and backwards a little. Be careful going backwards. Sometimes we lose it, so be aware. It's hard to catch yourself when you fall backwards. So if in doubt, be a little too far forward. All right, now we're going to shift our weight from side to side. I want you to really connect your brain to your feet in contact with the floor and feel how that shifts and changes. Now we're going to put that together and we're going to make circles, forward, side, back, and around. Let's go the other way. And we're, again, really connect your brain. What are those feet doing? Where are you? Building that proprioception, knowing where those, what's going on in the extremities. All right, now let's find half from side to side and front to back. Now really spread out your feet inside your shoes. Spread out your toes. Now I'm gonna press down to the ball of your big toe, ball of your little toe, your outer heel, and your inner heel. So now we have these 4 points of contact reaching down through the floor. And we may have a tendency to be heavier on one or another. We may have a tendency to lean on one foot more than the other. So we're going to try to reach equally down through all 4 or all 8 points. So as you actively reach down, you can think about it like a tree sending roots through the floor. So rather than gripping at the floor, we're going to reach through the floor. At the same time your feet are reaching down, you're going to begin to let the crown of your head rise up. So we have this, effortless space growing between your feet and your head. So we're not tense and tight like a soldier. It's a sense of effortlessness. So this is our mountain pose. So this is the base for all the standing poses we do. And it's a really great thing to practice throughout your day for posture. All right, so from here, we're going to take this and just take a nice big breath in, lift up, and we're going to exhale down. Let's do that again. Big breath in and down. We're going to go one more time. This time we're going to stay in mountain pose here. We're lifting up, lifting your chest, pressing down through your feet. We did this seated in the chair, but it's different when you're standing. And release. All right, so we're going to let the hands hang by your sides. Your chairs are for balance. So we're going to be going to some calf raises. So when you do this, you may get a little off balance. So we're going to start to lift up to the balls of your feet, pressing through the floor. So it's that same concept. If you just think about the heels coming up and down, sometimes we kind of lose our stability. So I want you to think about those 2 points of your foot, the ball of your big toe and the ball of your little toe. And we're going to press them down through the floor. So push into the floor and into the floor and see if that impacts your balance. Hopefully it made you a little more secure and stable. All right, so your chair is there if you should need it. Feel free to use it if you need it, but you want to make this your safe place to kind of challenge your balance. All right, so we're going to go for tall mountain. So you're going to press down through your feet, up through your fingertips, and down. Take a big breath in, tall mountain, and down. So this should be quite a challenge for your balance. That's what we're here for. Up and down. Let's go one more time. Now, can we stay here? Can we stay in tall mountain? Keep breathing, pressing down through your feet, up through your head, and release. All right, so you should have felt those calf muscles quite a bit. We're going to take a giant step back with your right foot. Your chair is still in front of you. And we're pressing down through that back heel. This is what it looks like from the side. Pressing down through your heel. Take this right into our warrior one. So we can bring those arms up. And we're going to take this warrior one today, and we're going to bring those elbows back, sending your chest up. So nice chest opener. It's really great for your posture. It's also great for giving you energy if you're feeling a little lethargic. These back bends and openers are excellent for creating energy. All right, we're going to soften this. Now, bring your back foot in a little bit, but it's not all the way in. So this is what it looks like from the side. Now, we're going to rock up and down, up to the ball of your foot and rock and down and rock. And maybe you can start to lift your back foot off the floor. So we're going to roll it up and down. So maybe you just come up to your tippy toes, or maybe you come up and balance at the top, lift and down. And then maybe we can stay at the top and balance. Now you can use your chair in front of you if you need to. You can use a couple fingertips. And then maybe you can start to reach forward. Now, if you're concerned about your balance, let your hands just hover right over your chair. Coming into our warrior 3 pose. Here. And bring your foot back down. All right, bring your back foot forward and let's do some hip circles. I'm gonna roll it out, loosen up those hips and backs. And let's go the other direction. A little side to side and a little front and back. Okay, so we're gonna do your other side. So we're gonna take your left leg back this time. Your chair is still in front of you. Pushing back through your heel, stretching those calf muscles. Your front knee is quite bent at this point. One thing I should say here is that sometimes people put themselves on a balance beam where their feet are stacked in line, and that really throws you off balance. So you can take your base just a little bit wider, and that will help a lot with that. From here, we're going to go back to that arm position we had before. So we're going to bring your elbows back, taking your gaze up towards the sky. Breathe into your chest, almost like you're sunning yourself on a hot sunny day. You're gonna let yourself effortlessly lift. Relax your face, your neck, your jaw. And release. Now slide your back leg in a little bit, so it's still back there. And we're gonna roll your heel up to the toes and down. We're not lifting all the way up yet. What I want you to feel is that foot coming off the floor and rolling back into it. Then when you're ready, we're going to start to add that lift. Rock and down. And rock and down. Lift. You go, it's not important how high you lift your leg, it's just that we're stable. So we're looking for deliberate. Make sure you don't fall into it or jump into it. And then next time, if you're ready, we're going to hover, letting that foot come up. Now maybe you'd like to take it deeper by reaching forward more, reaching back with your foot more. Keep breathing, whatever you do. And then bring your foot back to the floor and the arms down. Step your back foot forward. And again, we're just gonna move your hips a little bit. Sometimes that single leg standing work compresses in there. We're just gonna loosen it up a little bit. Okay, so we're going to take your feet out wide to the sides now. Your chair is still in front of you. Now, I will tell you that this next series of exercises that we do, sometimes people lose their balance backwards. They put too much weight in their heels. So if you know that you have some balance issues, you might do this with something behind you. But if in doubt, put a little too much weight on your front side if you're not totally sure. All right, so from here, your feet are just kind of a comfortable wide, and you're going to turn these right toes all the way out, and you're going to turn your left toes in a little bit. So your legs are straight. We're going to bring the arms out wide, and then we're going to tip, reaching down through the right fingertips, up through the left fingertips. And we're going to come back up again. So now use this left side of your body to draw you up. We're going to bring this other arm up, take a nice big breath in, stretch. And we're going to reach it long and down, stretch. We're going to inhale, lift up, open up the right side of your body. Exhale, open the left side. One more time, we're going to lift up, open that right, and down. This time we're going to remain in our triangle pose.
So the goal is not to get down to the floor. We want to open the chest. We're straightening those legs. Make sure we're not locking this knee back. There's a hint of a micro bend here. If you can, you might look up towards the ceiling. This can challenge your balance a lot. So really listen to your body. We are breathing. Then we're going to engage that left side of your torso like a drawstring to zip you back up. And lift the other side up and over. You're gonna let your tailbone be nice and heavy. Lifting up through the ribs. And release. All right, let's walk those feet in. Give yourself a little break from that position. And then we're gonna do your other side. We'll take the feet out wide. This time turning the left toes out all the way and your right toes in slightly. Your pelvis ideally is still facing straight ahead. All right, from here, I'm gonna extend it long and down and bring it up to the top. Lifting up, stretch. You can use a big exhale, reach it and lift and bring it up and stretch. Let's go one more time, down and up. And then the next time that you go down, we're gonna stay there. I'm gonna come down, lift up, and remain. So you can press into this hand that's down below for support. Make sure you don't feel like you're hanging heavy, but make sure that you don't compromise your knee, little softness there. Maybe you look up and around towards the sky, opening the chest around. All right, we're going to engage the right side of your torso to pull you up to the top and then lift up and over. So make sure we're not just going down into the side, but we're lifting up through that left side of your body. And release. All right, we're gonna walk those feet back in again. Okay, so from here, we got one more pose in this wide stance. We're gonna go for a warrior two. So take your feet out wide again. This time you might take them a hair wider than you did before. About a leg's length or so is about what we're going for here. Going to turn your right toes all the way out and your left ones in, just like we did for triangle. But this time we're going to bend and straighten your right knee. So your pelvis is level and it's facing straight ahead. And it's important that this right heel stay heavy and your knee doesn't go too far forward. So if your feet are too close, you might end up in this position, and that's not a good thing. So how deep you go is totally up to you and your body. Your knee is pointing straight at the wall beside you. It should be going the same direction as your toes. All right, now this time we're going to stay there. So this left leg is very straight and active. Your right heel is very active, and we're going to reach those arms through the walls beside you. Gazing out past your right fingers. So feel the stability in your legs. And then feel this natural lift up out of that foundation through the crown of your head. Just like mountain pose, we feel all 4 points of the feet. We feel everything is active, growing up through the crown of your head. And when you're ready, bring it up. We'll just bring those arms all the way up and release. All right, walk your feet in for a moment. Give yourself a break from that wide position. You might bend and straighten your knees a little bit. And let's take those feet out wide again. So nice wide stance. Turning your left toes all the way out. Bring your right toes in slightly. And then we're going to kind of bend and straighten. And I like this moving in and out of the pose. It helps you to kind of make those little adjustments along the way. A little more out, a little more in. All right, and then when you're ready, we're going to come down and find that lunge. Make sure all 4 points of the feet are reaching through the floor. We're gonna bring those arms out again, gazing out past your left fingertips. And really activate your arms. Sometimes people tend to lean forward into that left hand, but what we want to do is activate back through that right hand as you look. Actually, a really great opener across your neck and shoulders if you activate. While we're here, we're engaging the pelvic floor, pulling up and in for support for your organs. Soften the shoulders, soften your face. Building some really excellent strength. And bring it up. All right, walk those feet in. One more time, we'll give it a little stretch it out. Okay, so we're gonna be using our chairs again for this next one. So we're gonna come to stand beside our chairs. So you wanna stand nice and close to your chair. And you're gonna place your hands right down on your chair. You're gonna walk your feet back a little bit so that now you make your body into a table. So your feet are right underneath your hips and your shoulders are right over your hands. This is very important. Make sure that you are not here with your hands in front of you. You wanna make sure that your weight is going straight down into your hands. All right, from here, we're gonna tuck your tailbone under. Look towards your belly button and you're rounding your spine to this angry cat position. You're looking towards your belly button. You can even let your head go. You can wiggle your head a little, let those neck muscles take a break. Breathing into the back of your body especially, creating space between the bones of your spine. And we're going to reverse this. So we're going to look forward and reach back through your hips. So when you do this, we're not necessarily trying to drop your lower back as much as we're elongating the front body. And let's reverse it again. Look toward your belly button, round your back, and then take a breath in and look forward. Those of you who have taken yoga will recognize this is our cat-cow flow. Inhale forward. Exhale, stretch. Let's go one more time in each direction. And under. All right. Now from here, we're going to begin to walk your feet back. Now this time your hands are going to come in front of you because your hips, all your weight is now back in your legs. Your hands are just resting there. Now for some of you, this is a lot of flexibility. This may not be available to you. So if that's you, you might take your hands higher up on the back of your chair, sink your weight back into your legs, and this might be a nicer option for some of you guys. All right, from here, we're gonna slide your hips from side to side. So you're gonna bend one knee, bend the other knee, nice and easy. Stretch and stretch. Bring it back to center, walk your feet forward, all the way forward, and press yourself up to the top. All right, so let's do some wrist circles here. Hopefully you are not putting a lot of weight on your wrists. So if you were, next time we're gonna go down and do some more stuff on all fours. So you wanna try to not be too heavy on your hands. Gonna open and close. And shake it out. All right, so we're gonna come back to our all fours position again. Make sure you start out close to your chair. Sometimes I've seen people kind of reach for their chair and it can go out from underneath you. So you start out standing close to your chair, place your hands and walk your feet back to that tabletop position. Feet are underneath you. Now from here, you're gonna pull your belly muscles up into your body. We want to find a kind of happy medium between our cat and cow where we have a nice long neutral spine. From here, we're going to reach your right hand forward and take your left leg straight back. Now you don't have to lift very high. When you lift, we want to make sure we're not arching your lower back. We're looking straight down at your chair right there underneath you. And reaching long from your fingertips to your foot. Your belly muscles are hugging into your body, doing some excellent strengthening for your core. Make yourself lighter on the hand below by engaging back into your body. And release. All right, let your body kind of shift and move and feel good. And then we'll do the other side. So find a nice happy medium. Set your feet. This time your left hand is going to come forward and your right foot is going to go back. Ideally, your pelvis should be level. All right, and you're reaching very long in all directions. Long forward through your fingertips. Long down into your foot below. Long back through your foot behind. Pulling your belly muscles in. And release. All right, so from here, I'm gonna come forward towards me a little bit on your chair so that this front hand is free. All right, and then your knees are kind of bent, feet are parallel. We're gonna take one arm up and around towards the sky, big stretch, and bring it back down. And big stretch, up, and around. Stretch. Let's go one more time. And down. All right, bring yourself all the way up to stand. We're going to do that on your other side. Around. And you've got one hand on your chair. You've got one hand forward. We're going to open it up and around and back down again. Now, I personally like to inhale on the left and exhale down. Coordinating your breath can be really nice. We're going to make this next one, your last one, up and around and down. All right, let's make your way up to stand. Okay, so now that we've activated our core, we're going to take a little time. We're going to do a balance exercise, working on our. So I'm going to recommend you stand next to your chair. So your chair is right here if you should need it. And starting out in our mountain pose, so find your feet, find your spine, nice and tall. And then we're going to take all your weight onto your right foot and turn your left foot out, knee and toe out. Now, this for some of you guys, this may be the pose right here. You're going to bring the hands together in front of the heart. Now, some of you guys might like to slide that leg up a little bit higher and let that knee open out to the side. Some of you might like to take this bigger, going all the way up with those arms, pressing down through your foot, up through the crown of your head. So growing like a tree, reaching down through your roots, reaching up through your branches. And then bring the hands back down. And bring the foot back down. All right, and do the other side. So if you walk around to the other side of your chair, that way your chair is right near you and this foot is free. All right, so find mountain pose again. Turning the toes out, knee and toe turn out. Pelvis is level, make sure we're not dropping, which kind of likes to happen. All right, so if you want, you can bring that foot up. Make sure you're not pressing into your knee joint, but you're right below your knee. Pressing your foot into your leg back into your foot. And then if you'd like to, let those branches grow. Pressing down through the foot, activating all the way up the body. Breathe, you can pick a place to look in front of you. And bring the hands down and bring the leg down. Okay. Okay, everybody, we're going to make our way back down to have a seat in our chairs. We're going to sit just a little bit forward on our chairs. We're going to do a nice, easy little twist, side to side. It's going to go from side to side. You might exhale with every twist. Exhale. Exhale. And come back to center.
Let's scoot back on our chairs so we're supported. This should be the place we started today. So now your feet are flat on the floor. Your pelvis is well supported. This time we're going to bring our palms to face down, grounding ourselves, sealing our practice today. If you'd like to, you can close your eyes or just look down towards the floor in front of you. And just as we begin, we're going to send your mind into your breath. And just notice. You're going to notice the tone of your energy, noticing the physical, the emotional, the mental, just noticing. Maybe things have shifted from when we began, maybe not. And allow yourself to be where it is you are. Breathing in a sense of gratitude and appreciation for this practice and our ability to be here today. And taking this with us as we leave into our lives. Let's draw the hands together in front of the heart, expressing our honor and gratitude for this practice. And namaste. Thank you guys so much for joining today. I hope that you got something good out of our time together. I'm going to switch my camera out so I can see you a little better.